What is the school doing to promote and support children's engagement?
Do the school values promote a positive ethos? Is there a positive and nurturing environment? Are the relationships across the school positive? Are there positive interactions between the children, teachers and support staff?
Are the children motivated to learn?
What is the impact of negative behaviour on learning and engagement? Are there bespoke support approaches? How well is the school supporting children's behaviour?
If all of the support for behaviour is in place, will the children be motivated to learn? What are the outcomes and impact for the processes put in place?
What are the opportunities and the ways for children to learn? Do they learn in pairs and groups? Are the activities well matched to the children's needs? Are the activities providing appropriate pace and challenge?
Are the approaches to pedagogy having a positive impact on engagement, motivation and attainment?
Does the teacher explain the purpose of the learning? Is there clarity? Is the learning intention understood by the children? Where is it recorded? Is it a regular feature? Can the children talk about it?
Is there reference to prior learning? Are the children involved in generating and curating the success criteria, or is it created by the teacher? Is the success criteria the step to success? Are the children involved in leading their learning?
Is the Promethean board being used to enrich the learning experiences? Is it being used interactively? Do the children have regular access to digital devices? Are they being used effectively? Are they using online platforms? Are they developing their digital skills? Are they developing their coding skills? Is there a digital framework?
Is the questioning quick recall or closed recall? Does the teacher check for understanding? Does the teacher promote independent thinking? Does it develop the children's questioning skills? Is it rich questioning? Does the teacher promote creativity? Does the teacher promote thinking skills? Is it promoted through peer and self-assessment?
Is there planning for support and challenge?
Are the lessons well planned if learners' needs appropriately supported and challenged? Is there evidence of higher order questions being asked?
Is the feedback written or oral? Is the feedback linked to success criteria and learning intention? Is it quality feedback, not just well done? Is the feedback helping the children to progress? Can they talk about their progress and link it to their feedback?
Is there consistency across the classes and stages? Is it being developed across the school? How are teachers engaging in research? Is research being used to support the development of play pedagogy? Are they looking at current documentation, for example, realising the ambition? What is the impact in classes? How creative is the use of spaces and learning experiences?
What is the role of the adult? Does the adult promote the children to explore, be creative and be independent? Are the interactions of a high quality? Does the questioning stimulate creativity? Are teacher observations of play being used to support planning? Is the play adult-led or child-initiated play? What is the impact on children's learning? What is the skills development? Is play developing across the school in an age and stage appropriate way?
Are the environments helping to develop independent learning in the classrooms, corridors, shared spaces and outdoors?
Are the shared spaces put to good use? Are the children working in pairs and groups? How are they being used to support learners?
Is there a range of formative and summative assessment? Is the evidence robust? Are the assessments linked to CFE and the benchmarks rather than printed off websites? Are the teachers analysing the results of the assessments? Are the results used to plan, support and challenge?
Is peer and self-assessment a regular feature in the classes? Is it successful? How robust is the success criteria? Do children know what they need to do to be successful? Do they know what they need to do to improve? Can they lead their own learning?
Can they talk about their learning and their next steps? Are the learning targets reviewed regularly? Are they robust? Do they use learning profiles? Can the children talk about their skills, progression, and process of learning? Where are the learning intentions and success criteria displayed? On a display board or an interactive board? What does feedback and jotters look like? Is there evidence of children and young people using this?
Is there a shared understanding of moderation? What is the purpose of moderation? Is it relevant and impactful? Why have some curricular areas have been chosen? Is it a focus on the school improvement plan? Is there a shared understanding of approaches to planning and teaching and not just the outcome for teachers' professional judgments?
Is the planning helpful and impactful?
Is there long, medium and short-term planning, and is there responsive planning?
Is there a consistent approach across the school? Is there progression from stage to stage in P1, P4, P7 plans? Are the children planning the learning?
Are the children receiving their entitlement of a broad general education with ideal planning? What are the approaches to planning? Is it context-based? Does it support the broad general education? Are teachers discussing planning and progression? Is support and challenge discussed?
Does the SLT monitor cohorts of children? Do they focus on progress barriers, protected groups and SIMD 1 and 2? Is there an understanding of the needs across the school? Is the school acting on this to support and challenge the children? What are the interventions? What is the impact? Is it making a difference? Are the tracking processes manageable?
How does the school report to parents on progress?
Are there whole school and individual approaches to monitoring and tracking? Does everyone know what their role in the tracking and monitoring process is?
How are teachers using data to inform planned learning, teaching and assessment? How does assessment inform planning? How are teachers using data to inform interventions for individuals and groups? Are children involved in the planning of learning and teaching?
Is there a focus on supporting the well-being of children? Are the well-being needs being met? Do they attend school? Are they confident? What is the impact of support and what is the impact of attainment? How did they make the decision about spending the PEF money? How is the school monitoring the impact? What is the progress and the impact of systems and interventions?
Are the children receiving their entitlement of 2 hours of high quality PE? Is there quality planning for 1+2 and RME?
What are the trends around early first and second levels? Does the quality of pedagogy reflect on attainment data?
A good lesson is doing outdoor learning, doing STEM and doing a bit of play through learning.
A good lesson is when all the pupils are listening and when the teacher is asking for their ideas for the writing lesson.
A good lesson is when you're learning things in real life and developing good skills.
A good lesson is playing whilst learning.
A good lesson to me is when you understand the learning and you're not just sitting there confused.
Yeah. A good lesson is when the learning is fun.
A good lesson is where you're active and it's not just head down with a textbook.
A good lesson is when you learn through play.
A good lesson for me is when I learn outdoors.
A good lesson to me is when the teacher helps me progress in my learning and helps me to complete my learning intention.
A good lesson is when you're leading the learning and it's a real life context.
I think a good lesson is when a teacher helps us to understand things.
A good lesson is when the teacher tells us something that we all understand.
A good lesson is when the learning is fun.
A good lesson is when the teacher gives us the success criteria because it's the steps to success.
A good lesson is where all the pupils are engaged and want to learn about it and not just finishing in their tree.
A good lesson needs a good teacher to show us lots of different strategies and help us along the way.
A good lesson is when my teacher writes a feedback in my jotter.
A good lesson is when the teacher gives us strategies and challenges.
A good lesson is when a teacher asks you what you want to learn about.
A good lesson is when you are sat properly, focused, and when the teacher is explaining it clearly.
She describes it to me and things, and she helps me.